Hello everyone, we are back with more completely different. In the previous episode you saw that I switched out the characters. So that's mainly I'll explain in that I explained it in that episode, but that is mainly due to just recording issues. That's all it is. But from the previous episode, as you can see, the lady that you saved, after you defeat the butterfly delirium, if you come back and talk to her, she comes back and thanks you
You saved me
for
back in
just
town,
helping her out. And her
and now
name
I
is
live
Human
at the
Woman.
shelter you told me about.
Because if they're
I
an
have to
NPC,
donate
they
blood
really
regularly, but
have no
they
name.
give
I
me
think
food,
actually
a place to
she's
live,
one of the
and
few
clean
NPCs in
clothes.
this entire game that
I
you
can sleep
physically
without fear of
interact with
revenants or the lost.
that does not
To me, it seems
have
quite
a name.
luxurious.
Like some of them, like in the
I have a
past,
much
like
better life
during
now, thanks
the
to you.
memories, they don't have a name. But yeah, she just comes by, thanks you, that's it. But in the previous episode, if I didn't show this because I got footage corruption, but if you talk to Coco, I believe when you reach the dried up
I've
trenches,
got a whole
she
new
will
line of
give
stock
you
in,
the
thanks to my
ability to
Herculean
have her
efforts.
blood code. Her
But
blood code
seriously,
is
you've made my
Mercury,
job
and
a
they
whole lot
deal
easier.
with. Actually, you know what? Here, um,
Come
here I'll
again
go
soon.
over and show it to you now. Go over here. Acquire Harriet's. Mercury, Coco's. Hers, like it says, allows for a safe exploration with its balanced stats and gifts that are related to stamina and haste. These are all the more passive abilities. Well, it says active on a lot of them, but these are the ones that you want to use because like they're really good for just like benefits like this one, the lightning weapon, which I used in the recording in the fight, not in the recording for the previous episode. Yeah, but as you can see, Coco's aren't really tied to her own memories. You have Hunter Vestige, Survivor Vestige, and Scout Vestige. That has nothing to do with Coco. But we'll see later. But yeah, that's a bit of foreshadowing. We also received the Dark Seeker blood code from Nameless Successor who died. The only way to get that, you saw at the end of the previous episode, you have to go up to where the hunter and his woman disappeared, and then you get the blood code for him. And his deals with battle ready, but deals with venom. So you got Sanguine War. Like you only have to watch one thing for his, because he only has three, so it doesn't really matter. But hey, his deals with Venom, not one I personally use like at all. I might just level up the gifts just to, have them ready and like the ability, like, oh, I never used this one, so I'll test it out. But today, going back to this, we will actually be doing a different type of episode. We will be doing lore episode. Like you saw with the first minisode, it was more of a lore-based episode. We are going to do another lore-based episode because we're actually going to be going through. We're going to be going through two different blood codes. First, or not blood codes, but the memories of the characters and the blood codes. You saw earlier, some of them are blocked out. You need to go talk to Io over here, and you're going to restore the vestige.
What is
Now,
it?
restoring vestiges allows you, as you see at the bottom, to get certain abilities and passes back by viewing the memories of characters. Um, like right up there, if you see at the top, Prometheus Vestige II. This is when you have like all the Prometheus vestiges from A through D that you've got in the ruined cityscape, and they contain the memories of Louis. Like, so you get some of his better skills: savvy evasion, which increases the amount of focus you get for dodging into attacks, and death parry, fully restores stamina when you parry. But you're like, oh, okay. But then you notice that that's only two. Well, most of the main characters have one to two characters that are tied to them in terms of the blood codes. Meaning that some characters like Louis, Yakumo, and some of our future partners are tied to other characters, and you need to fill out their blood codes as well and find all their vestiges in order to fully max out everything. Like for example, this one's the Hunter, the top one for Icor strikes, while the bottom one is for Louis. So that's how you can kind of figure this out. Like certain characters are going to be tied to one another. It's just basically like, all right, look at which codes they belong to. Blood code Hunter, Prometheus, keep going. Blood Code. This one's for Coco though, and Kevin. So Coco, I guess I'll explain this now. Coco is a bit more thrown out there. She gets a lot of random supports, memories with other characters. Like you wouldn't expect. You thought it'd be tied to maybe one of the other main characters in some way, but you really don't get anything. It's like, oh, she's a traveling merchant. She met up with him. She just hangs out at your base. But yeah, um, there you go. Like Coco is tied to our first one is Kevin, and we're not actually gonna get her other one until a bit later in the game. I want to say close to mid game, but still pretty early. And for Hunter Vestige IV, this one's actually gonna be a bit on the harder side because you need to have Prometheus Vestige II, 3, Hunter Vestige 1 and 2. So this. You don't need this. This is just for Coco, but I would still say you grab it. And this. Well, you need these four in order to unlock this one. This is to finally find out the fate of the characters. Well, not a mini-sode. I will be joining you for these. I won't join you for any future ones when we're just going over the character's backstory. I'll just cut straight to that one. But we will cover the Prometheus one, the Hunter one, and Darkseeker might just get its own little very tiny minisode where it's like 4 or 5 minutes, like, oh, lore minisode lore with the Darkseeker, the tragic fate, something like that. Well, anyways, um, let me cut right here, and I will get back when we start doing this. Hey, this is Future Omega. I actually changed my mind in the middle of recording. I decided not to put in my voice work over this because I feel like it'd be better if the characters voice their feelings and opinions, so that way I don't feel like I'm being attacked on observer for this. I know that seems kind of boring, but I feel like it gets across the story much better.
Where am I? Am I still alive? No. I know this feeling. I've come back to life again. What happened back there? Cruz, everyone was... Each time I learn something new about our world, or the state of those living in it, my feelings of guilt pierced me even deeper. Starving revenants fighting each other for a handful of blood beads, and the ranks of the lost swelling with each successive conflict. I spend my restless days in battle, trying to keep my head above water. Only when I'm engaged in the rush of combat can I close my eyes to the gravity of what I've done. Are you helping me? These blood beads. Those men lying over there ordered you to find them, right? Well, now you can keep them. Far too many people keep revenants as thralls these days. Stay safe, and watch yourself out there.
My name is Kevin. I could give you a hand with whatever.
I'll see you. Here's what I was able to bring. It's not much, but I hope it helps.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I wish there was some way I could repay you.
I do this because I want to. Don't worry about me, all right?
Tell me if I can help with something. I'll do whatever I can for you.
was Kevin. He was a young Revenant boy who I met in my travels, and in the end, brought to his death. He was someone that I never should have forgotten. It's hard to believe that I could let something so important just slip away. Sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but there may be other memories of mine scattered around. If there are, I'd like to get them back. I may discover things that are painful to confront, but I made a decision to face my past head-on. Back then, I had no idea what would happen. As Operation Queenslayer dragged on with no foreseeable end, even children were turned into revenants and sent out to fight. And then, when it was over, both the strong and the weak were ravaged by bloodthirst. But with resources thin, they had nowhere to turn. I wanted to do something, to do anything to help. That's honestly all there was to it. It never occurred to me that my actions could lead to such tragedy.
Listen up. Our scouts have finally discovered the Queen's location. We're sending you in under orders to track down and destroy any Lost in the area.
Destroy the Lost? But how? We haven't even finished our training yet.
You'll learn in the field, Revenant. Protect your heart, and you will never die. Your sacrifice will help open a path to the future.
Friends! It's their own damn fault. Kids shouldn't flash bloodbuds around like that if they want to stay out of trouble. They were practically begging for us to lift him. But don't be worried, though. We're gonna let you live. As long as you work your ass off for us, that is. Damn you! You enjoy this! Those hellish days went on and on. Stealing to survive. To us, it was only natural. I was ordered to take blood beads from other kids, ones that were just like me. As long as they could get beads, they would live. Survival was more bead to bead than day to day. That was when Louis came along and reached out to me. No one had ever done that for me before.
It's how our world is. I'm sure you've seen it yourself. There's no shortage of people who will exploit others to make their own lives easier. I have crossed blades with their miserable sort on more than one occasion, while I was researching the blood beads. It was a small thing. I was certain that it would do some good.
Hey, you! Give me all your blood beads. If you don't, you're gonna get hurt.
Look at me, being threatened by a little boy. I must be letting my image slip.
I'm not a little boy. Now hurry up and hand him over, lady. Ow! That hurt.
What did I say? You're just a little boy. Still, I have to admire your guts.
Go on, do what you want. dead anyway if I don't bring those blood beads back.
Why? Is someone making you collect the beads for them?
What's it to you? You plan on giving alms to a poor, miserable thrall?
I'm not giving you anything. You'll have to make your own way in the world. What I can do is offer you a job. I need someone to scout out the place marked on this map. Think you can handle that?
The map led me to a fully laden blood spring, tucked neatly out of sight. It was so well hidden that I never could have found it on my own. She'd sent me to the trove alone and unsupervised, so she couldn't very well complain when I took every last blood bead. After all, who am I to turn down an offer like that? I doubt I'll ever see her again anyway.
It would also explain why I feel like I'm going out in order instead of going like Prometheus Vestige III right after 2. This is just for kind of like for context sake and story.
Whoa, what was that? Talk about your unexpected trips down memory lane. Yeah, even if I don't want to. Most revenants have lost the majority of their memories. I guess I'm something of an oddity in that respect. I've still got almost all of them. And the things I want to forget aren't going anywhere. Lucky me, right? Looks like you have the ability to restore people's memories. If you happen to find anything related to me, be sure to let me know, okay? I'll make it worth your while. There could be something out there that I've forgotten, and if that's the case, I want to see what it is. So the kid found the blood spring after all, hmm? Maybe I did, and maybe I didn't.
Kevin was a boy who had been enslaved by a group of merciless revenants. Over time, stopping by to give him blood beads became something of a routine. But one day, that pattern was broken. When I went to see him, he was nowhere to be found, and his dwelling had been torn apart. I heard everything from someone who said they knew Kevin. A few days earlier, a revenant had attacked him and turned him to ash. The attacker was after the blood beads I'd given Kevin. I thought that I could save him just by giving him blood beads, that it would be enough. But I lacked true commitment to his survival. And in the end, that's what killed him. Actually, I heard another revenant attacked him for those same blood beads shortly after, and he became one of the lost. I won't let myself forget again.
Louis, why do you keep bringing blood beads to some random kid like me?
There isn't really a particular reason, but if I had to give one, I'd say it's because you were alive when I met you.
That's... Don't keep risking your life for me, Louis. You can't.
You don't need to worry about me, really. Focus on keeping yourself alive and well.
Louis... Louis kept bringing me blood beads, which spared me from the constant struggle other revenants faced over them. There was no fear of being turned to ash or becoming one of the lost. I had blood beads, and that meant I had peace for myself. It was all mine. But was that really okay? The shortage must be hitting you too. Here, take them. They're yours. Don't worry about me. Being the only survivor would be boring anyway. And, you know, we rely on each other to survive, right? That's what people do.
There you are. You're that crazy kid that's been passing out blood beads, aren't you?
Maybe. What if I am?
If you've got so many lying around, then how about you pass some along to us? After all, we've been hurting since one of our kids turned lost.
I don't have that many. Even if I did, I wouldn't give a single bead to bastards like you.
You stupid punk. In that case, we'll just take him by force.
He was sharing the blood beads I gave him with some of the other revenants. He wasn't stupid. He had to have known what would happen if he did something like that.
I'm sorry, Louis. I'm afraid it's over for me. But I don't regret what I did. When I gave out those blood beads, I felt like I was taking back my humanity. For a brief moment, I felt like I was truly alive. It was because of you. Thanks to you, Louis. I wonder if I was able to become even a little bit like you. Goodbye.
Kevin, you wanted to... Yeah. I believe you need a real sense of dedication before you can truly say you've saved someone. It's just self-deception to feel like you've helped after giving no more than handouts. But at the same time, I'd be a coward if I only sat back and watched while doing nothing. Even if I'm deceiving myself, I have to keep fighting. And if I fail to help, I'll face up to what I've done. But I also won't let that stop me from trying to help others. That's what I've decided. I couldn't save Cruz. Even when she begged for my help, I wasn't strong enough to do what was necessary. Now, this is all I can do for her. And the world. It doesn't change what happened, or the fact that I'm responsible for Kevin's death. However, I appreciate you sharing his memories with me.